Are we streaming? Maybe yes, maybe no. Let's find out. Yes. Okay, perfect. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Hi everybody, it's Shay. It's Thursday. It's the Thursday of a really, really weird week. At least where I am. I don't know how it's been for you where you are. I've been looking forward to this stream for the last couple of days, just a chance to hang out and be social. With all of the COVID talk and concern that's been going around, it's been pretty different over here for me. And then there was my Joe. Hi, darling. You'll understand what I was going to say next. It's really striking to me how much my real life looks like isolation. Working from home, I don't go out much. My primary social people, I only see maybe once or twice a week. So I've been realizing like a lot of people are very hampered by needing to self-isolate and to follow these instructions. And I'm like, this looks like normal for me. Maybe that says something about my life. So kind of thinking hard about that and wondering what, if any, changes I need to make on the flip side of this if I don't like the resemblance. So far, I don't have a problem with the resemblance. It's more the frustration of knowing that I shouldn't go out even though I might want to. So, how are you doing, my darling Joe? How's your cold? You feeling any better? With allergies? Oh, that's a terrible combination. I'm sorry. Do you get like snow mold allergies? Like, is it that time of season for you, or is it something else? Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Pardon me. I'm sorry, I know I sneeze like a hurricane. I'm glad you're okay. I can see there's a few more people that are lurking. Hello, lurkers. How are you? Oh, dust, hey? That's no fun. There's a Myrna. Hi, darling. How are you? You're home today, hey? Heading out around noon. Okay, cool. Yeah, but your landlord should still be getting that cleaned for you, Joe. Like, they have an obligation to do it on a semi-regular basis. Especially, like, if you've got allergies. That's not kosher. I suspect one of the lurkers is my neighbor Stephanie, who does not have a YouTube account. and should either get one or, you know, get one. I had words and then they were gone. Sorry. I'm on your TV. Oh my goodness, I'm famous now. That's kind of neat. I guess I've never been on TV before, you guys. This is the March map. Yep, absolutely. It's also my cartography homework for that Polish cartography class that I'm taking. The assignment this week was to take a map that we have already drawn, which was this one, and redraw it in the style that you would draw it if it was going to go into a book. And so this one, because I'm working at a different scale than what I'm used to, like we're using, I think this is an A6 set of measurements, I chose to make this one bigger so that I'd have more room for doing detail. Because like my mountains on this are really cute, but they're not like my normal mountains, and I really wanted more room to be able to do my normal mountains. So yeah, so draw this map in the style of Shay. Yeah, pretty much. You're not wrong. Yes, happy spring equinox. I feel like today is a bright and sunshiny day, and I'm hoping it's going to bring us some hope and some good news. I will definitely take it. Definitely take it. So yeah, just filling in forests right now. The rivers are actually like dense lines, which is not something that I normally do, so I gotta kind of figure out how I feel about that and carry on with that. It was maybe a lack of foresight on my part to ink them that way, but you know, we'll figure it out. Joe, have you heard the band Marina and the Diamonds? Naglis, hey, how are you? How are things going over there? We didn't see you last week and I've been thinking about you. It's all good, Joe. I am redrawing the grid map. It's coming along. It's starting to get somewhere. Your maps have been looking really great lately. It's worth checking out her album Fruit, F-R-O-O-T. I think you might like, Joe. I'm glad that you're good, Neglis. That's awesome. I'm doing okay. I'm got some moderate stress with all of this COVID stuff that's going on, but doing all right. Last week, hey? The entire country or just your town? You can't remember what must have been a good party. Yeah, that seems to be the way of it right now. We've been recommended to self-isolate as well as much as we can. Which means more time doing all the things that I normally do. I was saying earlier before people kind of started coming on the stream, all this has really highlighted for me is how much my life normally looks like this anyway. There's definitely something to be said for just the routine of things when you work from home. You don't really go out. Tajikistan. That's exciting. What inspired that? Oh, your followers. Nice. Super cool that you have followers that are giving you suggestions for stuff. I think most of mine are just like, hey, do what you're doing. I want to watch. Which I'm okay with. Skyrim is such a beautiful game. Dave bought the PlayStation 4 VR helmet for it, so now I can literally walk around being the best damn flower picker in all of Skyrim. Because that's really all I want to do when I play Skyrim is just go pick all the flowers. Find all the stuff. I find I'm doing the same thing in Zelda Breath of the Wild too. It's fun, I just want to go and like pick stuff and be like, here's all the mushrooms I want, and then I'll go cook things. But then I have to actually like go fight stuff so that I can use up the things so I can cook more things. I think I'm playing the game backwards. Yeah, the VR helmet is pretty sweet, Joe. Honestly, I was initially really skeptical. I was like, why are you doing this? Like, we wanted to save up for an Oculus and the Oculus Rift, and I was like, I'd rather do that. Like, that'll be so much cooler. And then this was like, this is not a bad stopgap. Like, gotta say, it's a pretty decent system. So, it's pretty fun. Kind of helps with my mountain cravings. Just be like, oh, now I'm in the mountains. Hooray. Well, so you got some mods going on in there, hey, Nicholas? Nice. Dave's played with a bunch of different mods, too. I can't remember which ones, though. You died once from frostbite. That's definitely a level of realism. 14 hours on March 16th, hey? From March 16th, sorry. Yeah, you're definitely devoted. I lent my Nintendo Switch to a friend who's in isolation right now, and I'm hoping we can use it to get online with another friend who has a Switch and we can all play Mario Kart over the internet, because I think that would be pretty awesome. I was also thinking, back in the day, Myrna, we somehow played Cards Against Humanity online. Do you remember how we did that? I tried looking it up yesterday, and I think the thing that used to host it is no longer up. But maybe I am mistaken and you know some magical secret that I don't. Not that Cards Against Humanity is my favorite game, but I mean it's one more thing that we could do while we're supposed to all be staying at home. They had a server. Okay. I can absolutely imagine what a hassle it is to travel from Riften to Macarth. Thank you, Myrna. I appreciate that. Yes, Joe, I do want to come south this summer. I very much do. I am eager to do all the things. I'm really hoping that this situation with the COVID clears up sooner. I mean, I'm not super hopeful on that based on my friends who are in nursing warning me that this is super, super serious business and we should be prepared for this isolation to last longer than 2 weeks. But a girl can dream. A person can dream too. So... an Imperial academic guy. Cool. I love lore. Lore dumps are like one of my things. And I'm really like kind of grateful for the lore that I've learned in like games and books and stuff, because my player Lisa in my game is the kind of person who just like is absolutely obsessed with the world building. And I love that about her. It's really encouraging that she's so into the world that she wants to know everything. But like at one point I made a throwaway reference to a lullaby that is sung by Crystal Trees. And she's like, I want to know the words. And I was like, oh no. Now I have to write a lullaby sung by Crystal Trees. So now I have to figure out what Crystal Trees would sing about and who they're singing to and how they would phrase their stuff. It's funny. I love it. Like, I think it's hilarious. But she sometimes is like, I'm really demanding. I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, you're fine. It's all good. Macarth, hey? So does Macarth mean something river? Bad river? Good river? Fast river? I feel like a little bit like I'm doing... Don't trust the signs. Oh, man. I'm not a really, really great gamer. Like, I do far better at, like, tabletops and RPGs and stuff than I do with console gaming. So if I can't trust the signs, that might be a problem for me. Nishanzel in Dwemer, hey? Yeah, I trust you to be all up in the linguistics of this, too. That makes a lot of sense. I have a dungeon that I need to design for some friends, and then I need to figure out how to, like, administer it in quarantine. So what I'm thinking of doing is, like, drawing up each section of the dungeon, like the hallway and then the one room and the next room and like breaking it up into chunks and sealing each chunk into an envelope and numbering the envelopes. And then as they explore the space, I'll just tell them to open up the corresponding envelope to the room that they enter. And then they'll have it. So I don't know. Do you guys think that would work? I'm not competent enough to like play it on Roll20, and one of my players, Lisa, really hates the platform anyway, so I'd rather do something like that with the pen and paper than subject us all to something that's just going to be technologically very annoying. Mods for Skyrim, are you playing it on the computer or on something like a PlayStation, Joe? You're on the computer. I don't know for a computer because I've only ever seen Dave do it on the PS4. From Nexus. Well, maybe Neglis knows. Good job, Neglis. I think that isocation is a better word. I saw somebody today propose that we start calling it insulation instead of isolation, because you're insulating yourself against harm, you're insulating other people against harm, and it's not that idea of just like deprivation. And I thought linguistically that was very smart. And I think I might adopt it. You know, words. Apparently I can't word very well the last few days. I think like I've seen some pressure from posts, like there have been some posts going around that have been like, you know, when Shakespeare was in quarantine, he wrote King Lear, and then when who was it, Newton was in quarantine from Cambridge, he wrote his theory of optics. Like, you now have all this time, make your magnum opus, seize the day, carpe diem, all of that stuff. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool message. But keep in mind, those people were in quarantine for months and years at a time. I think Newton's quarantine was like 2 years or something. But also, like, way to turn capitalist productivity into something even of a crisis. Like, you're not worth having just downtime right now. Like, you're not your value, you're not your output. Like, you're just a person and you're allowed to have just person time. So, I've definitely been kind of wrestling with, like, feeling both attracted and repulsed by those messages. Not really sure kind of how to feel about them. So I am drinking coffee today. Oh my goodness, chat has moved. I will read. Use Twitch for World of Warcraft, but they only have mods for Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, I've thought about Elder Scrolls Online as well. I just suck at combat, so I feel like I would die a lot. But there have been some cool additions for that I just want to wander around in those worlds. Um, I am drinking coffee today. My coffee has both chocolate and mint extract in it. Um, I've been enjoying it as one of my luxuries. I put real cream in my coffee, like whipping cream and all that jazz. It's pretty nice. Yeah, physical distancing is another good way to talk about it for sure. ESO is not good. Huh. The thing for me about Elder Scrolls Online is that then I'm playing in an environment that has a lot of other people in it, and I find that confusing and a little bit off-putting. Like, I'm somebody who prefers to explore the story at my own pace and not be tripping over other people. I like that there's like a solo option for play in Conan, because then I'm just alone, trucking around, beating up my rocks, building things. And that suits me just fine. I like that quite a bit. I don't have to worry about being raided. I don't have to worry about, you know, all of that other stuff. And I don't want to have those worries while I'm trying to relax. I would strongly prefer to just chill out, do the stuff. I think if I had like a crew of people that I was playing with, I'd feel differently about it though. Because I thought about getting into World of Warcraft so that I could keep gaming with like my other Lisa and my friend Nicole, because Nick's a big Warcraft player too, or was. And I don't live near either of them now, so I thought maybe that might be cool. Plus the art for Warcraft is great. I just think there's so much fun visual design going on with that game. You solo on WoW all the time. How does it change your experience? Like, can you play without a big team of people? I don't know nearly enough about Warcraft, so like, please educate me. If you have the inclination and spoons to do so. Yeah, I can imagine. That would be stressful for me too, because then, like, you're not in control necessarily of your story. You have to find other people. I don't like that agency being taken away from me. Maybe I'm being unreasonable, but. Okay, well, that's not terrible then. I mean, still not ideal in my opinion, but not terrible. Do I have a Copic 003? Yes, I do have a Copic 003. I also have a Micron 003. Why do you ask? Here's the Copic. And the Micron. Well, my Micron 003 might be dead. There's a possibility of that. Yeah, I think my Micron 003 has bit the dust. I also have like a 003 in this Copic multiliner. These ones I'm trying to get away from because once they're empty, they're empty. You can't do anything about it. This one I like better because it's refillable. You can actually break down the entire pen if your hands work better than mine do. Here we go. And you can refill the ink cartridge, you can replace the nib, and basically it means you may have less environmental impact with this particular line of them, whereas these ones just, once they're done, they're done. The multi-liners, like the Pigma ones, these Microns that I use all the time, they are also a one and done. You can't refill them. But I like the tips on them better than the Copics. So I'm really wrestling with what to do to try and kick my habit for these in terms of using disposable pens all the time. One of the solutions that I've got is I've invested in fountain pens. And I actually just got a bottle of new, supposedly very, very waterproof black ink. This is Platinum's Carbon Black ink. And it's a Japanese ink to the best of my knowledge. So you should use it with a converter cartridge in any pens. The difficulty that I'm having is that my finest fountain pen at this point has a nib that gives me a line that's probably a 01 or a 02. And considering that I work frequently in a 005, and that's not as fine as I want it to be. So I'm hoping that there are other fountain pen nibs out there that are finer, but if there are, I haven't run into them yet. Which do I like better? Does it not write for you in a blackish but grayish color? Well, let's find out. Like as compared to other Copic pens, or just the fact that the line weight is so thin? Because like the non-disposable Copic is much blacker, or sorry, the disposable Copic is much blacker. The refillable Copic might just be drying out. I think it's been a while. But I find they have almost a browner tint to their ink. So that's kind of just, you got to figure out what you want and then use it, I guess, is the best way to list it for me. I have had nothing to do with Witcher yet. Myrna read the book a while ago. Dave just finished watching the TV show. And he has not yet played the game, I don't think. What pen was I using? Was it really a 03? Yep, it was. Okay. But I haven't interacted with any of it yet. I've heard super good things, though. It's a grayish hay. I just find because the lines are so thin, if your ink isn't perfectly flowing, then yeah, it's going to look great just because there's not a lot of ink being laid down. You have the first book on Holden Libby. Nice. You didn't like the Netflix series? I remember your series of Witcher maps. Yep, I recall that. That's a pretty reasonable price for a trilogy of games. Or at least in my opinion. $80 Canadian, hey? Yeah, still though, for 3 games, that's like 25 bucks a pop. Which isn't horrifying. It's still like money for sure. I wouldn't have $80 just laying around most of the time. Fox person? Yeah. I want to be a fox person. That would be great. The fox people in my book are called Phelan. They are very cool. You're one of the only people that has seen most of the book. So, thank you for complimenting my world building, though. I spend a lot of time doing it. I was watching an interesting YouTube video the other day about the world building trap and how easy it is to just get caught up doing only world building as opposed to like actually working on your project. And why this probably is and how it is a detriment in some cases. And it was a really, really interesting video. I found it very provocative in a few ways, and it definitely was like, oh yeah, maybe I should pay more attention to some of this in my own practices, just in terms of like making sure that I'm being productive on the main project. Maybe I'll link it in the comments. Let me just make a note to myself to do that. You are special. Yeah, there's not too many people that have the link to that Google Doc, that's for sure. That is for very sure. And nudge, nudge. I need to have more that I'm like comfortable sharing. Like it's honestly also been a really long time since I've been writing consistently, which is shameful, but very, very true. I've been working on a piece the last little while that's going to be a gift for a birthday present. And maybe once that's all done, I'll post that up to the blog. I feel like I've been drawing so much lately that it's been definitely kind of taking over the space that I would use for other hobbies. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's definitely something like I need to work a little bit harder on figuring out what that balance looks like so that I'm doing all the things that I want to do. Yeah, the problem with doing the art as a job now though is that I feel very pressured to keep the spectrum to this side, because this is the side that's making money, whereas the writing isn't. Not that I'm making a lot of money right now, but it's one of those things that if you want it to keep going, you have to keep investing in it, right? So I definitely am feeling some of the capitalist pressure to like commodify the creative process that I'm on, and trying to kind of keep my peace with that and make sure that I'm still creating work that I'm proud of and I'm enjoying the process as much as possible, because I think there's no faster recipe for burnout than to not. But it's definitely something that's kind of on my mind. I was away from my art for quite a while. And when I was doing my art, I was doing different stuff than what I'm doing now. Like the cartography has been my most dominant art form for over a year now. And that's just not something that's ever really been true for me within my creative practice. Like I think the longest thing I ever had a long trend for before was mixed media collage stuff, like when I was doing my active visual journaling all the time, all the time, all the time. So it's a little bit different to be in this kind of situation now. I don't mind it, but it is just something that I'm kind of also passively observing as I go through it. Right, in Persian. All of the place names for this map are Persian. It's really interesting that you say that. So are you like trying to teach yourself to write the language? Got you on in the car. Oh, hi, Laura. It's so sweet. Be safe, love. You gotta be safe. I did not know that Old Persian is kind of similar to Lithuanian. That's pretty neat. So when you're naming things, how do you find your names? Do you like look up the meaning of the names and then go from there because they mean the things that you like? Or do you just pick ones that you think sound good? Are you attracted to the history of the name? If you can find it, like how does that process work for you, Naglis? That's really cool. Right on, right on. So would you guys be interested in like a live stream where instead of like just drawing a map, I'm kind of doing the puzzling through of like a D&D encounter that I'm designing? Or should I kind of just stick to this wheelhouse or what? Because I was thinking about like working on dungeon design today because I have a game that I want to run later today that I need to do some more prep for. But I have no idea if that process would be interesting to people or annoying or whatever. I kind of like the idea of like collaboratively building something just because I think that would be super fun. I think I'd probably want to do it like a different stream though, like not Thursdays, but maybe a different day just so that the people who want to look at like the dungeon stuff don't have to be having the map stuff interrupted and vice versa. And I can't say that I'm like super good at developing stuff, just that I find it interesting. Oh boy. Yeah, I think I saw that map, didn't I, Naglis? Or I saw your half of it anyway. That's really cool. I think sometimes I don't even need you to have tabletop knowledge to participate. Just be like, all right, I'm in a room. Like, what kind of furnishings are in this room? Maybe there's a mirror. Maybe that mirror is enchanted. If it is, why? How is it enchanted? Like, that kind of collaborative world building, you don't need to have someone who's fluent with mechanics for. You just be like, hey, this is cool. Let's do the cool thing. You'd probably redo it. I thought it looked pretty amazing the first time. What were you unsatisfied with it for? That was really terrible grammar. My apologies. What parts of it were you unsatisfied with? This is the first map I've ever actively redrawn. Usually I'm kind of, once it's done, and I don't want to look at it again. So this is a very different process for me. The writing. That's fair. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm almost out of coffee. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I need a compass rose on this beast. We all live in a zombie submarine, a zombie submarine, a zombie submarine. The twist in the lyrics goes back to a joke that I made once with Dominica and her sister Evelina. And every now and then it just rears itself in my head. And I don't really understand why, but it's just like, okay, it's here now. Guess we will just deal with it. I've heard that Sean Lennon is a really, really decent musician. How do you find his work, Neglis? Is it good? You sing what you see. So kind of like a ballad then? Or like slice of life type stuff? Doo-doo-doo, where's my ruler? Ruler, ruler. Hi, Doodle. What are you doing? Are you being the best boy? Yes, you are. Such a good boy. You like this style? What do you like about it? Oh, you mean the style of the song? Cool. That's fun. I thought you were meaning the style of the map. I was like, I don't know. I think it's okay. Hi, Saxbones. Saxophones. Yes, I know, but we're not done live streaming yet, buddy. Gotta wait. We're not finished yet. Unless, Stephanie, if you're hanging out, you want to come let him out. Pizza is awesome. Enjoy it. I think we will edge in these outer lines now. There's 8 of us here right now, you guys. That's so exciting. I kind of love knowing that. Thank you. Now, how do we make these rivers look a little bit more like rivers? You're in the office now. That's good. Thank you for letting me know you are safe. Welcome back, Nicholas. What's your favorite pizza topping? My apologies, you guys. That's Stephanie coming over. You were listening to me.
I'm creeping you out. I have nothing else to do now.
Okay, well, come on in. So Saxon's favorite human is now over. He does really have a loud voice. And he was in the hallway when he started barking. He was not in the room with me. But that's what you get when you have 110 pounds worth of dog. You get very, very large lungs. So sorry if that was all in your ears, because I'm sure it was. Mika was the same way. Did I tell you guys about the map that I'm going to be doing for Lisa? As part of her, she's eventually moving present. It's going to be big. It's going to be the largest map that I've worked on. And it's going to be, this is going to be part of it. This is going to be a small inset in one of the corners. This is the island that her character is from. And then the rest of the map is going to be where all of the adventure has been taking place, which is far from her home, with vignettes all around the border of like different important places that they've been, different important things that's happened. I picture it in my head and it's gorgeous. It's all full color watercolor and really, really well done. I'm hoping I can pull it off. I'm skeptical about my ability to make it happen the way that I envision it. But I think it'll be a really, really fun gift. Yelling at your car, hey? Well, I'm sorry I didn't register your disturbance in the forest. Well, then maybe I'll do one. I think that might be fun. Skyrim map would be fun. Tamriel would be good too, yeah. Stephanie, did you just leave? That girl. Oh my goodness. Hi, Goomba. Was your friend here? Did you get to play with the ball? That's Saxon. He's breathing heavy because Stephanie had him outside and was playing with him. Yeah, he is a very big, very friendly dog. Very noisy. It's also a sign of how good my mic is. Whenever I worry about that, you guys are like, yeah, we can hear him just fine. And I'm like, okay. Understood. Stephanie, if that's you that just rejoined the stream, you didn't have to leave. You could have come and hung out up in the office. I was not intending for you to, like, just let the dog out and then sneak home again. Thank you for letting him out, though. Hi, baby dog. Yes, I see you. Guess what? Mom's almost done. Like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. I know. Had to restart the computer. Hopefully it's working okay for you. Yay, maps! All the things. Compass roses are pretty incredible, I have to say. They're one of my favorite things about the map, too. Sometimes I do super, super complicated ones. Other times I do really, really simple ones. But they're some of the favoritist parts. For me, anyway. Patrick, hey, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend. Yeah, it would be kind of fun to have people like physically be here and just jam. I would dig it. It is really, really nice to have the option to hang out with you guys like digitally though. Like, I can't tell you how lovely the stream is for that for me. Because like I was saying earlier in the stream before you were on, Laura, like I've just been realizing with this whole self-isolation protocol that my real life doesn't look that much different. Like I tend to stay home, I work from home, like my introvert status is pretty well established. So this idea that we're not supposed to go anywhere for 2 weeks just as a province is like, well, yeah, that's my real life. Like that's all. So being able to be online with you guys, I think makes a huge difference in my degree of self-isolation socially, just because I can chill and we can talk, and it's really good for me that way. So thank you guys very much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Warhammer Total War. Is that the tabletop game, Naglis? Or is that like a video game? You're very welcome, Patrick. Your morning monocle. I do love that you call it the Thursday morning monocle. Like, I feel like that's like the Daily Herald or something. It's just such a great title. I'm glad that you got the rest you needed, though. I'm sorry that you're feeling so tired. You gotta take good care of you, my friend. Video game based on the tabletop. That makes sense. I think Dave might have that game, Naglis. I haven't seen it be played yet, though. He got it while he's been in Latvia. Patrick, I was saying earlier that I might start doing an additional stream every now and then on D&D design for like just world building stuff that I'm doing for my campaigns and my book and stuff. Is that something you'd have any interest in? I'd keep my Thursday streams for the mapping. This would be an additional one. I see your caps lock. I understand your excitement. Alright, I'm going to finish up this chunk of coastline and then we're going to call it for today. I am supposed to be having coffee with the Stephanie that just so ninja'd into my house and let my dog out. So we will do that. This map is just about done, you guys. I'm excited. I am excited. Okay, well, have a good one, Naglis. Thank you for coming and hanging out. You stay healthy, too. None of this breaking of the quarantine. Be good. I'm really glad that you find this stimulating, Patrick. It's totally awesome. World building is something I love. Love it so much. Super addicted to it. So would like to do more of that. And I was saying earlier, like, I love doing it collaboratively, too, because more than one brain always comes up with better stuff. So it's super good. So yeah, I'm just going to put, once this is done, just fill in the dots on my little islands, and then this map is going to be finished, and I will load it up on the Patreon. So yeah, that's me for today, you guys. I'm going to go. Joe, thanks for hanging out. Laura, Patrick, thank you for being here. I'm pretty sure Stephanie is lurking again. Stephanie, if you're lurking, come back. Let's have coffee. Anybody else is lurking, thank you for being here. At one point, there were 8 of us today, which is a really high number for me, so that was pretty exciting. I'm sorry, Patrick. I'm so sorry, my friend. But you can watch it once we're off air, I guess. Not the same. I know it's not the same. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And we will do this again soon. Catch you later.